So the last one we want to hit, emotional labor and unequal effort. This comes down to who is quote unquote doing more in the relationship. Does one of you make all the plans, remember all the important details, start all the, and again, air quote city today, deep conversations, whatever the heck that means. 30 years ago, well, let's talk about how was that viewed 30 years ago? Who was responsible for that and how did that work?
Women. Women were the
As
feelers.
It should be. But that's going to get me in trouble. I shouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it shows a little bit of your personality.
It's a joke. Take a joke.
Yes, the part of your personality that is very humorous. So women were the feelers, were the ones that were supposed to, if there was anything going on, they were supposed to broach the topic. They were supposed to bring it up.
Give me some examples of in a relationship. Okay, again, early relationship, but as it progresses and becomes not so early, what are the things that you're talking about that they would take, that historically the female in the relationship would take ownership of?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oftentimes, the first one to say they love the other. I think that's...
I mean, I've said it once. Why do I need to say it again? It's always been my philosophy.
Oh, we'll have to tell that story later about where we heard that and how that has become a part of it. Because it's
a little laughing part of our...
But it's also unique. And I'll tell you why when we discuss that I find that's very, that's very unique. So what was the question again? It was...
What are some examples that women historically have taken the lead on in relationships? I mean, I can pop through some of them if you want me to.
It's, taking, like you said, remembering the dates. So like, what's our wedding anniversary date, Michael?
I hate this question. I know it. It's in June. And the only reason I know this is because we had this conversation recently. I always want to say June 20th. And I have no idea why, but it is stuck in my head and it's wrong. It's June 21st.
July.
Oh, July. Dang it. I even said the wrong month this time. Dang it. I was so focused on I know it's 21, not 22. I missed the month. Whatever.
But remembering family birthdays and, oh, hey, Michael, it's your dad's birthday next week. Do you want me to get him a gift? Yeah. And kind of taking the things that I don't want to say they're not important. They are important, but in a different way than getting the bills paid or mowing the lawn or.
Right. And I think it expands beyond that. It's also the who is planning date night, or who is saying, hey, we haven't connected in a while. Let's go hang out and do this. Or who is willing to have the hard conversations or start the hard conversations. Those are all the emotional things that it takes to run a relationship. And 30 years ago, and even when we started off very early, a lot of those things fell to you. Maybe not the starting conversations part of it, but definitely the nurturing the couple's commitments part of it. Like, hey, my dad's birthday's coming up, or hey, so-and-so's getting married, or any of those sort of things that I might not have found of immediate importance, but they're good for nurturing and being part of a community and being part of a family.
That's good.
And I think the focus today is much more, and there's a good reason for this, which maybe you want to talk to in a second. If one person is carrying all that load, it becomes, how does it impact a relationship?
Resentful.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key word I would go with.
I always fill in the blank. There's so many different things, and which is different from, we have different strengths or I think we discussed in an earlier episode about how I'm allergic to grass, so you do that. So it's different than that. That's we've identified that these are the things that you do and these are the things that I do. And I think that's normal. I like typical better than normal because what's normal? But some of the other things are, if it comes down to you always doing those things, you start to get resentful and want to know, why do I have to do all this? Why? Why can't he or why can't she take some responsibility for this or some ownership for this? I'm the one that always does whatever that thing is. Initiate conversations or...
I think it's safe to say that early on in our relationship, there was a big imbalance in there. Today, it's much less of an imbalance. I handle a lot more of the things, and these are simple examples, but I deal with gift giving and acknowledgement of birthdays and celebrations on my family's side. You chip in, but I don't depend on you to do that stuff. I keep track of that stuff. There's lots of other examples on there, but it is one of those things where you have to evolve over time, and the expectation is a lot different now than it
Mhm.
was 30 years ago.